The journey to making esports a staple in Ghana is a long and tiring one. And don't get me wrong, we haven't gotten to where we want to get to yet. We are still on the road, but currently on the road, it's given us heroes to celebrate, heroes on the forefront, pushing the barriers of esports to the next level. My name is Slimo, and this is the VGA Esports chair. And you know how we do it. We'll go deep into the breakdown, what goes into making esports one of the biggest in the country, and how they've been able to put everything together. On the VGA Esports chair, on this episode, I'll be joined by one of Ghana's best streamers. And when I say best streamers, he was the first guy I saw when I got into esports in Ghana when it comes to streaming, to be honest with you. And he's been doing an amazing job ever since. I'll be joined by the one and only Mr. Isaac Einstein. Or now we'll have to correct it, Dr. Isaac Einstein. Big man. Yeah, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Slimo.
All right, so tell us how you got into gaming and esports first of all, because I mean, when I got into it, you were the very first person I saw when it came to streaming.
Yeah, gaming has always been part of me growing up back in the 2000s, growing up playing games, Sega, Mega, you know, the Mortal Kombat on PC.
The OG times.
The OG times, Super Contra. Then, so I've always been a very competitive person personally, and so getting to university, that's when I really started esports in Ghana Telecom University. I was part of the team that used to play FIFA a lot. Interestingly, a lot of people didn't know, but I was a very good FIFA player.
This is a strong revelation
for the OGs.
Are you still good though?
No, right now I'm not good enough. But I used to play competitively, travel to Kumasi and whatnot to play like very high stake games. So that's why I developed the passion for esports. But I didn't really understand it much until when I traveled outside Ghana to China, where I had the opportunity to be able to visit certain complexes, certain cafes that did esports and certain competitions. Then I saw it in a different light. So I picked a lot. I studied how they were going about things and what it meant to them and how they were trying to incorporate that into their society. And I was very motivated by that to see how we can implement that in Ghana. So when I got an opportunity to come back to Ghana, I got in touch with the people that were currently doing esports at that time. Chrissy Hayful, big shout out to him. I met him and a couple of others, and then I began my journey in esports in Ghana.
Wow, that's like a serious story, because if you were here in Ghana, I'm not sure you'd have gotten that inspiration to possibly even go into it, because at the time, we're still at a very tender age. We didn't see a lot happening, but going to China and coming back, is it then that you started getting your tools, your equipment for streaming and everything?
Yes, I got a lot of equipment from China.
And how much did it cost you then? Like, was it expensive at the time?
Yes, because not a lot of people were using it at that time, and some of the gadgets were very expensive because most of them were foreign made from China's perspective, and so it was quite a lot. It was a fortune, but I did get a couple of investors as well. To be honest, I put forth the plan, the idea, what the future holds, and they bought into the idea and then they invested in the company a lot. So I appreciate that a lot.
Where you predominantly see Isaac Einstein is on YouTube, on the Motherland Gaming Television. When I first visited, the games I saw like a lot of times were PUBG Mobile, Call of Duty Mobile. Was there a reason why you picked these two specific to be streaming and not the other games?
Yes, I realized that the system was heavily dominated by FIFA, and that was okay because everybody was happy with FIFA. And so the next generation of gaming was going into mobile games. So that was where I realized that was the new trend was going to go into mobile games. However, I didn't see anybody showcasing mobile gaming, and so I put it upon myself and my investors to try and showcase mobile gaming from Africa, because if you look at the entry point for gaming, consoles are predominantly a bit more expensive. Desktop PCs are a bit expensive, but mobile gaming is relatively cheaper because everybody kind of has a mobile phone already. So that journey meant that a lot of people can really hop onto esports, and that can really catapult the whole esports scene in Ghana. So I was really encouraged to try to showcase Ghanaian or West African esports on mobile to the world.
And him doing that, he took it up a notch, because my time in esports in Ghana, like he said, dominant FIFA. We see a lot of online competitions with FIFA and LAN events as well. I've seen mobile competitions, but they were all online. He was the very first person to make me even see that it's possible to hold mobile games offline. I don't know if you remember that, the qualifiers for Bali, Adome. Tell us how difficult it was to pull that one off, because that was the first time I had seen that one.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest investment in esports I've ever done, because it had to be a LAN event. I had to be able to convince the church that it was going to be worthwhile. That alone wasn't a small feat. And then to invest, time, logistics, money to transport, because people didn't understand the vision at that time. They were very comfortable in their homes playing online. But then the next step on esports is to bring people to one place where they can compete by seeing each other. And so you had a lot of people coming from the northern part of Ghana. Some people even came from Upper West and Upper East, and we had to try and help them with their transportation and all of that, in their feeding when they come to the ground, and even trying to network all the phones, because PUBG has a maximum of 4 players. And if you have 18 teams, that's a lot of players. And so all of them are going to be on the same internet capacity. And so my knowledge in networking also helped in that particular respect. We were able to network the whole place, get the whole place running, and to be able to accommodate all the people playing. It was quite...
it was a nice one, because it was a whole different experience. Because usually when you go, it's the same old FIFA. Then we saw mobile games. Like, I saw it in a different light after that tournament. So a huge shout out to you for doing that and what you've been doing for the mobile gaming community. Now, we know that one thing that drives you is the passion you've got for gaming, but I know somewhere deep down there's also a thought in your mind that is going like, you've got to make money out of esports. So we've seen you venture into casting, which of course you are still doing. But tell us about the business of streaming. If someone is out there that wants to get into the business of streaming, what's that one advice that you've got for them?
The one advice I'll give to somebody who wants to stream, first of all, is to start. You have to start from somewhere, because I didn't just get to where I am just from a flash. I had to start from somewhere using some normal microphones, whatever I could get. But the most important thing is consistency. Streaming is all about consistency. If you want to build a community, it's all about consistency. So once you have that, once you start, you have to find a genre that you like, a genre that you can appreciate. And then once you do that, you'll be able to grow with your community. And then your community will also appreciate where you're coming from and where you get to in the future. And so that journey alone is going to give your community a bit more stability and a bit more of an understanding of how far you have come. So the most important thing is to start. At least get an audio device or a camera, and just start and just do what you have to do.
The start's very, very important in there. Now, we saw you, like, through your streaming, we saw you casting a little bit. Now you've taken a kind of mainstream a bit. We saw you with GameX and other international organizations that you've been working with. How has making money from esports been like? Have you significantly made money and said that yes, I've made money from esports?
It's a cycle. I feel like most of my casting that I do, if I do make any money, it tends to go to I tend to pay maybe my graphic designer, or I try to save to buy a new device that would help to improve the stream, or get better subscriptions to other softwares that can help improve the stream. So in terms of money that I can put in my bank, absolutely not. But I do know that in the future, there is a path. But for me, the most important thing is to try to motivate others to pick up new things. Okay, because esports is a new thing, it's a bit risky, but the fact that I can motivate people to get into a space like that can take them away from probably things that could turn into social vices, and they can appreciate that in esports, I would absolutely be fulfilled if I can take people from a place where they were hopeless and then bring them to a place where they have a career path. That seems to be my biggest goal in esports.
And the goal is definitely so close to being realized, because I mean, you've been doing a lot. But I think someone asked me this. The only place you usually find Motherland Gaming Television is on YouTube. We don't see you on TikTok. Instagram, okay, we've seen the handle, but it's not as active as it used to be. What's happening? Like, people are missing the OG content where almost every day we'll go and then see you streaming. What's keeping you away from it update?
Well, right now, you see, as we keep growing, we keep having more responsibilities and stuff like that. So definitely right now, my biggest goal right now that I want to do is be able to train other people to pick up okay, try to give people a path in the streaming business so that they can pick up from me, so that I can also go and look for more money, so that I can invest in our project, so that we can do that. So I think that is basically what is taking me, because I'm doing like a one-man kind of job. It's a bit harder to be able to incorporate all the other platforms and then try to stay active. But I'm going to try my best, at least now that I'm finished with school, to try and get back to getting people in and expanding our business.
The nuggets of knowledge are dropping left, right, center. People, if you're watching this episode and you're enjoying it, kindly smash the like button. It's still the VGA Esports chair with me, Slimo, and the one and only, one of the best streamers in Ghana, undoubtedly, Isaac Einstein. We are getting to the latter part of the show. Now, compare these two scenarios. You coming into the esports scene early. How was it then and how is it now? Have you seen an improvement? Have you seen us there now going downwards? How has it been since you joined and then now?
Is moved in an exponential manner. Is the upward trajectory is amazing so far, and it's very, very encouraging to see how far we've come in esports. Because I remember the first time I came and I met Kwesi here for we hadn't had anybody travel to go and represent Ghana.
So which year would you say that was?
So that was I think 2018, 2019. I think 2019, 2020, thereabout. You know, we hadn't had any team travel.
I think the only person that traveled at the time, Wonder Kid, going to France for the ESWC. So
yes,
him.
Yeah. So we didn't have any team,
like a team that
travel. So Bali was the first one. So that was very significant to be able to organize a tournament that internationally could be recognized as a prerequisite for people to travel. So that was very encouraging. And so after that, we've seen a lot of people travel. So that opened up that door, and so definitely we've seen an upward trajectory in esports, and I am absolutely happy to see how far we've come, and so hopeful to see where we will become in the next 5-10 years, to see how far esports can go in Ghana.
The road is looking brighter and brighter each day, and I'm hoping that we can definitely get there. Now, before we go, if someone wants to study under you, because I love the opportunity, how can they hit you up? How can they register for a course under Isaac Einstein when it comes to streaming? Because I know when you come out of that course, you definitely be one of the best. How can we reach you?
Oh, you can reach me on Instagram. You can go to Motherland Gaming TV on Instagram, and you can just message me. And you know, I most of the time I check the Instagram page, so that's probably the best place to message me. Also, you can send me an email on mgtvafrica at gmail.com, mgtvafrica@gmail.com, and I will definitely see that. And quite interestingly, I think last month the Nigerian Pro Club had two of their boys come in for a training session with me, and that was quite interesting because to see the understanding of where they wanted to go, I was very encouraged, and so I would definitely encourage that, you know, just hit me up and then we can talk about it and see how best I can help you to improve your streaming.
When we speak of help in the esports community, I mean, a lot of people deliver help in so many ways, but the kind of help that he will deliver for you in streaming is excellent. So make sure to hit him up if you're interested in streaming, and I think you definitely not regret it. Now, your final words to your viewers, to anybody that has pushed you with gaming and esports, because I know there's usually a huge stigma in Ghana. How do your parents feel about it, first of all? Your community, like your family, your friends, everybody that knows you're into esports and gaming. Shout out who supported you, and tell us how did they feel about it when they saw you started to go into esports and gaming.
Yeah, quite interesting. My parents didn't necessarily understand it at that time.
Everybody
felt like
I
was kind of wasting my time. But now I have to say they are a bit understanding. They are a bit supportive now because they're seeing some of the fruits that are happening. But you know, quite interestingly, I think one of my biggest motivation to actually get into esports, and I give a big shout out to my girlfriend, Nanama Amakwahima. She mostly saw me playing games, right? And she was like, but can't you do more from this?
Like playing video games without streaming at the time? Without
streaming at that time. So she really, she's a business-oriented person. So she really, we had a sit down, and then we talked, and then we were like, okay, then this can turn into something else. I can help others to get into this. So that's where the whole idea kind of actually came from. So big shout outs to her indeed. And she's been very supportive so far, especially even with the Bali event. She was absolutely instrumental in managing the whole scenario, getting vendors in, bringing people in and all of that. So yes, I would say she doesn't look like she's an esports person, but she actually is an esports person if you can prick her mind.
Wow, what a story. And I hope we all have our own Anahimans in our life, because if they can push you to the level that Einstein has gotten to, then hopefully we can do great things. But the aspirations now for you, I know you've done a lot now. What's that next big step that you're looking to take? What's the future looking like for Einstein, and what do you want to achieve with esports?
So right now with esports, I want to be able to get to a stage where we have an esports complex in Ghana.
That would be massive.
That we can have people who are training for to become part of an esports club or an esports society, and also people who are competing in highly competitive events that are bringing in revenue, so that we can use that revenue to turn into a cycle that can help others, and also try to use esports as a social responsibility to help bring people from the street into a place where they can be appreciated, and also a place they can find a career path. So that is basically what really motivates me to continue esports.
Well, you've heard his dream. It's upon all of us to help and keep pushing the dream. All I want to say is a big thank you to what you've done within the esports community. I, for one, have benefited hugely from your help, and I think a lot of people have done also. But it was the VGA Esports chair with the one and only Mr. Isaac Einstein. If I start mentioning what he does for the esports community, I don't think we'll finish now. He's doing almost everything right here, and these are the people that definitely need to be celebrated. My name is Slimore. Until I catch you next time, stay safe out there, keep playing those video games, keep playing competitively, and keep pushing esports, whether in Ghana or another country, to the next barrier. We'll see you another time.